Hello everyone, this is Mr. Brain Junkie here, and today we'll be talking about a science fiction film called Crocodile Island. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. In the year of 1945, a couple of soldiers are flying home after winning the Second World War, but they quickly realize that something is wrong as they head inside the Bermuda Triangle. Very soon, all their equipments begin to malfunction as they see numerous giant creatures flying their way and crashing into their airplanes. The men are forced to jump out immediately and use their parachutes to break the fall just in time. When one of the soldiers finally makes it onto the island, he quickly realizes that they're not alone as he watches his friend. A massive crocodile jumps out from the water and devours the other pilot in a single bite, before leaving the soldier stranded on the island that's filled by monsters. Many years later, a commercial airplane is also passing by the Bermuda Triangle, but the passengers are completely oblivious about the dangers that they're in. The main character, Hao, is a single father who's traveling along with his teenage daughter Lin and is obviously unhappy about her new boyfriend whose name is Chen. The father demands to know how long they have been together, but is only responded by resentment from his daughter, giving him no other choice but to stare at the boyfriend in anger. Before their arguments continue, the entire plane begins to shake violently and causing all the passengers to panic in fear as they try to put on the oxygen masks. Things become even worse as the pilots realize that their equipments are failing, giving them no other choice but to slowly bring down the airplane towards the nearby island. Before the aircraft is able to reach the bottom, the people soon notice numerous gigantic birds flying their way and causing tremendous damage towards the engines. This causes the airplane to quickly drop towards the ocean while the pilots try desperately to maintain control, but the aircraft is ripped open violently. The people are sucked outside by the pressure difference as Hao tries to make it towards his daughter and eventually managing to secure himself onto the seat. The airplane crashes into the water as the entire vessel is drifting on the ocean, but the pilots quickly realize that something is wrong as they're heading directly towards the rocks. The aircraft slams into the island, which breaks the plane into pieces, while the passengers are tossed away like ragdolls, which causes everyone to pass out. When Hao eventually regains consciousness, he's able to rescue his daughter and bring her onto land, where they realize that only a handful of people were able to survive. The passengers quickly find out that they're stranded on the island, giving them no other choice but to gather all the resources that they can. However, the people quickly realize that there's barely any drinkable water left, and all their phones appear to have no signals in the area. Realizing that they're not going to last very long on the beach, Hao has decided to venture into the forest where he may find more resources for the people to survive. The main character goes into the jungle alongside his daughter's boyfriend Chen, and very soon they manage to locate a small building that's surrounded by trees. The people are able to find weapons inside the shed, and most importantly, they discovered a notebook that appears to be written by a soldier from the Second World War. Luckily, one of their traveling companions is a professor who knows English, but the man quickly finds out from the journal that the island is filled by giant monsters. This causes them to head back towards the beach immediately as they try to warn their friends about the danger that they're in. On the other side, a survivor called Fan begins fighting a woman for the only bottle of drinkable water in the area. Luckily, the man's despicable actions are quickly stopped by another person called Lee, who punches the aggressor right in the face. Their fight continues onto the water as a flight attendant tries to stop the violence while no one else offers to help. Lee's pregnant wife Jia sees this and tries to stop her husband, eventually managing to pull the man away from the conflict. Before their squabble continues, the people quickly realize that something is coming their way as the flight attendant is attacked by a crocodile inside the ocean. Everyone sees this and begins running away immediately, while numerous reptiles climb onto the beach and starts devouring the humans who are too slow to escape. When Hao eventually manages to return from the forest, the people are shocked to see that everyone has left the area and leaving nothing but footprints of the crocodiles behind. Hao thinks that their friends must be still alive, which causes them to chase after the survivors immediately. At the same time, the people are continuously being pursued by the animals who devours anyone that was left behind. The survivors are eventually split into groups as they escape towards different directions, and Lin Lin is able to make it towards a clearing alongside the husband and his pregnant wife. Very soon, they're able to find fresh water, which allows the group to recover from thirst, but Lee begins hearing noises that are coming towards them from inside the forest. Luckily, the survivors quickly realize that it's only the main character and his group, which finally allows them to reunite once again. However, before they can celebrate, the father begins noticing vibrations within the area, causing all the people to freeze in fear as they hear the noises getting louder. What the survivors don't realize is that a giant crocodile was hiding right behind the rocks this whole time, and the creature begins to show itself as it towers over all the humans. The monster approaches the nearby victim while staring at the person in anger and causing the man's bladder to malfunction in front of everyone. The people watch helplessly as the human is swallowed by the giant creature and causing the survivors to run immediately as they try desperately to escape. The massive reptile charges furiously towards the people and jumping directly at the main character, but Hao manages to dodge the attack by the skin of his teeth. The monster quickly turns the attention towards a woman who's stuck between the rocks and devouring her into its massive jaws. The people are able to escape from the area just in time as they're able to lose the creature temporarily, and Hao brings the survivors towards the building that he found earlier. The man suggests to everyone that they should camp here for the night, while telling Chen that they need to guard the area from the hostile creatures. The next morning, while everyone is still asleep, Hao decides to gather some fruits for the people so that his daughter will have something to eat when she wakes up. On the other side, Fang was able to survive alongside a woman whose name is Lychee, but she seems to care more about getting famous than not becoming the monster's buffet. The girl quickly shows that she's nothing but dead weight, as she managed to cover herself inside a bunch of sticky liquids. Lychee demands that Fan help her clean off the fluids immediately, but the man seems to prefer the dirty look more than anything else. What they don't realize is that the liquids are actually from the eggs of giant spiders. At the same time, Lin finally wakes up from her slumber as she tries to go outside to look for her father, but quickly notices that they're surrounded by giant insects inside the fog. They try to wake up the others quietly so they can avoid becoming the monster's prey, and the people have no choice but to slowly walk out from the building while evading the creatures. However, their plan quickly fails when a survivor discovers a bunch of sticky liquids on his head and is immediately killed by the giant insect. The people sees this and realizes that the other monsters are moving towards them as well, which forces them to run away desperately as the creatures chase them closely behind. The commotion eventually alerts Hao, causing the men to rush back immediately after hearing the screams. The survivors continue running away from the giant spiders as they sprint across the forest, but they're quickly stopped by the massive creature who's about to devour its prey. The monster begins stabbing at the humans by using its giant legs, but luckily the professor is able to distract the creature and saving the people in the last moment. This causes the monster to chase after the man immediately as he lures the giant spider away from the others. Before the people can take a break, they quickly realize that more enemies are heading their way, forcing them to run deeper into the forest once again. The survivors try desperately to shake off the incoming enemies and eventually manages to lose the creatures while they hide inside the plants, hoping that the spiders will leave. To their surprise, the people begin hearing footsteps heading their way and soon finds out that it's the main character who notices all the monsters in the area. This causes Hao to yell towards the creatures as he tries to lure the spiders away, making all the monsters chase after him and giving the others a chance to escape. The man quickly runs back to the wood building where he finds the professor hiding there for shelter as well, but what they don't realize is that the monster is waiting to ambush them. The two tries to wait until the coast is clear, but is quickly attacked by the monster from above, while the main character tries desperately to fight for their lives. However, the professor is mortally wounded and quickly dies as a result, leaving Hao all by himself while the giant creature continues attacking him from the roof. The man is proven to be no match for the creature creature as he gets knocked into the walls, and the monster quickly tries dragging him back to finish the kill. Luckily, Hao is able to break free and runs away from the creature before tossing his grenade at the enemy and blowing the monster into pieces. On the other side, the remaining survivors manage to escape from the area and eventually runs into a small river that they have to cross. Before the people can make it to the other side, they are quickly attacked by a crocodile that stuns everyone in fear. The boyfriend tries to attack the animal but appears to have forgotten how to walk and giving the creature a perfect chance to devour him. Luckily, the man is rescued by Hao in the last moment while the animal roars furiously at the people. The crocodile charges towards the main character right away, but Hao is able to dodge the attack while the creature drops into the water and eventually leaving as a result. The main character goes towards the others as he reunites with his daughter, and they finally embrace each other while the father promises that everything will be okay from now on. At the same time, the girl with the sticky liquids has finally found a source of fresh water alongside Fang. They quickly begin quenching their thirst while the girl starts washing herself like she's in one of those Japanese movies not made for children. While trying her best to look delicious for the audiences, the girl suddenly hears a splash from behind her and realizes that they're not alone inside the water. Before the woman can get out, she's quickly confronted by Fang, who wants to have some aggressive cuddling inside the lake. However, he's immediately rejected by the girl, which eventually gives him performance issues as a result. Just when the two are about to get out, the woman feels something inside the water as the crocodile grabs onto her and causing her to drag onto the man as well. This causes Fang to kick the girl repeatedly like she's full of diseases and allowing the woman to be quickly devoured by the massive reptile. On the other side, the survivors continue venturing across the forest, and to their surprise, the people are able to find a crashed airplane that likely belonged to the dead soldiers. They try to look for any working equipments that they can use, eventually finding a machine gun and a radio that's still functional. Lin takes the chance and calls for help immediately, and finally giving the people some hope that they can still survive this journey. Everyone decides to head towards the beach immediately, but they quickly run into another survivor who turns out to be Fang. Although the people obviously don't trust the man, they have no choice but to let him tag along, as Hao warns Fang to stay away from his daughter. The group eventually makes it towards a large river that they have to cross once again, but the pregnant woman is not able to swim in her condition. The team is forced to help the wife build a simple raft, as Hao volunteers to swim across the water so that he can pull her across the river. The main character is eventually able to make it towards the other side, as all the survivors begin swimming across the water as well. Everything seems to be going according to plan, but Hao quickly realizes that something is terribly wrong as the giant crocodile appears onto the surface. The people begin to panic as they swim desperately for their lives, while the massive creature continues charging towards them. Lin is able to make it across with her boyfriend, while Fan begins swimming the other way, but the husband is still inside the water as he tries to push the wife across the river. Seeing that they have no chance to escape, the husband pushes the woman away as he sacrifices himself right in front of everyone and gets devoured by the giant creature. This causes Jia to scream in tears while the crocodile turns around to prey on the humans once again. Hao begins shooting the machine gun at the creature and giving the others a chance to run while the animal chases them closely behind. The people are able to make it into a clearing as Hao tries holding the monster back by using his gun, but is forced to jump away in the last moment. The giant reptile continues chasing the others as they split into groups, but Fan eventually falls down as he begins having performance issues once again. Lin sees this and runs back immediately to help the man, but Fan only uses the chance to throw the girl towards the crocodile and leaving her to die. This causes the monster to chase after the girl as it approaches Lin from behind and planning to devour its victim. Luckily, Hao is able to distract the creature just in time by shooting continuously at the beast while getting the animal's attention and allowing his daughter to run away. The barrage of bullets are able to eventually damage the monster by piercing his skin, but accidentally hits Fang as well and paralyzing his legs. The creature sees the injured man and rushes towards him immediately, but also manages to grab onto Lin by using its tail. well. The monster approaches from behind the human, but Fang suddenly gets a heart attack from all the stress, which causes him to fall onto the ground. This allows the creature to charge in and swallows the human right away, as Hao follows the monster to rescue his daughter. Very soon, the knife falls upon the lens, and the man is eventually able to track the creature into a cave, where he rushes in alongside the remaining survivors. They carefully tread into the large tunnel and soon realizes that the giant crocodile is sleeping beside the rocks. Chen tells the woman to go back to the entrance, but before Jia is able to leave, she quickly sees the body of her husband, which causes her to fall into tears. This puts the people's lives in danger as it nearly wakes up the giant monster, but luckily the woman is able to calm down just in time. Hao continues moving forwards to look for his daughter as they carefully avoid the massive animal, and the father is eventually able to find the girl, who's amazingly still alive. The man tries to get his daughter out immediately, but before they can leave the area, Chen notices that the creature has disappeared and realizes that it's right behind him. Hao sees that they're in serious trouble as the young man is frozen like a statue from the fear, giving the main character no other choice but to fire at the monster to save everyone else. The boyfriend takes the chance and rushes towards Lin while carrying the girl away from the cave as they try to escape from the area. The monster eventually turns towards Hao as the man rushes deeper into the unknown while luring the animal away. The father tries turning into the corners and hiding inside the smaller tunnels to lose the massive creature, while Chen is able to bring his girlfriend towards the entrance. He hands Lin over to Jia and immediately decides to go back to help as he rushes towards the monster while holding his weapons. At the same time, the main character is running out of places to hide as the creature nearly kills the man from behind. This forces Hao to run desperately for his life and eventually jumping into a small entrance while shooting continuously at the giant crocodile. However, the bullets are not very effective as the man quickly runs out of ammo at the worst time, and he realizes that he dropped his grenade right behind the massive creature. Chan eventually makes it back to help as well, and the father tells the young man to find the grenade immediately before the monster can break inside. Chan rushes towards the rocks as he looks for the weapon like a madman, but is quickly able to find the bomb. He runs towards the animal immediately and throws the axe towards the creature while getting the monster's attention and luring it away. This gives Hao a chance to escape as the young man is chased by the massive beast, but Chan quickly unpins the grenade and throws it towards the monster. This unleashes a huge explosion that shakes the entire cave and causing tremendous damage towards the giant creature, which apparently kills it as a result. Hao sees this and goes back towards the opening while finally giving his approval towards the young man for being so courageous. However, before the people can leave, they quickly realize that the animal is still alive. This causes Hao to grab the knife and roll down into the rocks while the crocodile rushes towards the man and getting sliced open from underneath. The attack eventually kills the giant monster as it falls down for the last time, and Chan rushes over immediately to pull out his friend from under the creature. Luckily, Hao was able to survive the battle, which allows them to leave the cave in one piece as they're finally reunited with the others. The survivors are eventually able to leave the dangerous forest as they head towards the beach while the sun is rising, and numerous helicopters can be seen heading for their rescue. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.